Copa family, what is going on? We have a special FFS for you guys today. We are talking one topic and one topic only, derbies. You guys down to chat?
Oh, yeah.
Besides the derbies themselves, like what in your minds do you think makes a derby like special?
I mean, it's all about fan experience. I mean, like, obviously the teams hate each other too, but players come and go and they learn to hate each other, whereas the communities around the club, they hate each other forever. So it's, I mean, when I look at these games, Celtic Rangers at the end of the day, in a sporting sense, it's not that significant of a game. It is in the Scottish Premier League, but in the big picture, no one really cares about the Scottish Premier League until that game.
Yeah. So
it just goes to show it's the atmosphere, it's the history that makes it what it is.
Honestly, I think it's time. Like, you can't just manufacture a rivalry out of nowhere. You have to have a local rivalry, something with history behind it, or it's got to be something that builds up over the years, like a couple tackles that fly in a game and these guys, they start fighting. And then that's how bad blood has started. Results, on-pitch happenings, and then obviously off the field, those factors you can't really affect, but it's got to be like over the years developing that dislike on the field, I think.
But it's also like the dominance, right? The Old Firm was because those were like the two like kings of the league for a long time, and so even though that's rivalries and derbies are more for the fans, like they get up for it because it's also 6 points on the line, right? And so that's the thing that I like, is you need to have big teams that are actually, there needs to be stakes involved, right, to make those derbies bigger too.
And like, I hate to like cross sports, but NBA is probably our best like comparison because it's an American sport. It's a huge country. The Lakers and the Celtics hate each other. It's not because they're close. They're across the country, but it's because they were both the two best teams for so long, so they just go head to head for so long. So that's honestly, aside from geopolitical things like that, it's got to be just head-to-head battling on the field.
Yeah, I mean, MLS, what they need is, like, they just need to be genuine, they need to be honest, and they need to be patient, because rivalries, like, they don't just happen overnight. Every time someone from the league office says, like, we're placing a team here to build a rivalry, like, it sets the authenticity back, like, a lot. Like, because you can't just say something's a rivalry. That's why Cascadia is so awesome. Portland and Seattle, in some iteration, have been playing each other since the mid-70s.
Right.
And like you said, Montreal-Toronto, it's like there's a socio-political thing there. They also like tried to say there was a rivalry between Toronto and Columbus because like they have the same state flower. That's the kind of stuff where you just like cut that out. And
well, I mean, but look at Cosmos, for example, right? Cosmos have built a hatred towards the Red Bulls and NYCFC based on the way that they've been sort of treated or the way that they've been impacted through MLS growing, right? That rivalry is real. There is a hatred from the fan base of New York Cosmos that you wait every single year to play in the Open Cup, hoping to play one of those two teams so that you guys can go there and like get after them, right? Like that exists based on like a situation that took place where Cosmos has kind of been pushed down the line now, and their only way is to have that natural rivalry or hatred towards these two MLS teams, which I think is a real thing, right? That's not manufactured. That's taking a situation and reacting to it with like supporter culture. Do you agree?
Totally. And I think the point you make there, maybe unintentionally, is also that rivalries don't have to exist only within MLS. Like that's another like kind of myth we need to debunk. Like there's an entire pyramid of US soccer. If you ask like MLS who Orlando's rival is, they're gonna tell you Atlanta because like that's what they want it to be. But if you ask Orlando fans, at least the hardcores, who their rival is, they'll tell you it's the Tampa Bay Rowdies because they've been playing them for years, and not even in the same league. They played friendlies every year, and it was always heated. There was like fights, and there was like stuff went down and stuff happened organically where the only people that were watching was Orlando and Tampa Bay. And for them, that becomes the rivalry. It's just things like that. It takes time, and it takes like, you just have to be patient, you have to be honest.
Right. I wish there was some sort of like local cups type of thing, right?
Totally.
That you would play for that's actually with your local rival,
That's
right?
what that
and
was.
it's because it was like New York and DC for a while, and then it became New York, now is like the whole DC thing. But I remember the DC ones being pretty intense for the fans. But again, like if you could create that outside of the Open Cup, because you know you have Cosmos who can't get past an amateur team and then don't get, that's a but it's true, right? You put all your eggs in one basket to do well in the Open Cup. Your only chance to play against one of those teams and build that rivalry, you don't get a chance to do it. Now you got to wait another 12 months. That's going to take a long time to really build that up into something spectacular. Like I totally think that you should tear the walls down of the leagues to create local rivalries. That should exist, whether that's in a friendly sense where it's not actually a friendly game, but a game that's played once a year to own that city or region or state. I think that's pretty cool, and you can get actually neighborhoods and communities that are like you know, if you're from Cincinnati and you're against Columbus because you're from Cincinnati, you should be able to have the right to play against them in a game, to own whatever that is without manufacturing.
Even, I mean, this is getting into things we're probably not wanting to talk about, but like,
I'll talk about anything, bud.
No, me too. But like, even like, the one shitty thing about soccer in the US is the season's so short. If like preseason, there was like, for example, like a Midwest, like a Rust Belt, like pre-tournament that only mattered to those teams, like Columbus, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, even Detroit, even down, like, I don't know, St. Louis.
We should just make you league commissioner, honestly.
I should be in charge of a lot of things. This company and beyond.
Yeah.
No, but totally. It's all about authenticity, and I don't think matches have to matter to everyone for them to matter to the fans.
Right.
For it to start.
But don't you think fans should have some sort of a power then to try to like push that and be like, this, we need more reason, we need more stakes throughout a year?
Yeah, I mean, but it's always going to be there. It's always going to be like within their own opinion. Like, that's the reason the Cascadia Cup is so cool, because it doesn't matter. Like, you don't get anything for winning the Cascadia Cup. It doesn't qualify you for anything. All you get is something within that 3-team community that matters to them. And that's the kind of thing, that's the kind of authenticity in US soccer that needs to be happening on its own, happening fan-generated and not league-generated. Because the second something's league-generated, the second like the league puts out an article about why something's a rivalry and like gives people ideas, it's like, and I agree with you on New York. Like, New York, Red Bulls and City.
Yeah, but you can't tell me that almost every league in the world is marketing rivalries.
Totally.
You know, El Clasico is not what it was.
But
they
those
play each other, like,
rivalries,
7 times a year now.
those rivalries,
they just played a friendly in preseason. Don't tell me like those rivalries might actually exist legitimately, but they're also money-making mechanisms to drive more eyes.
I'm not saying you shouldn't market rivalry. I'm just saying that the best rivalries like pre-exist marketing. Like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Old Firm, like the rivalries where it's 2 big standing clubs playing each other are awesome, but like sometimes the best rivalries are the one where it's like there's one team that dominates another over and over and over again, but like that still generates hatred. Like the game doesn't even have to be competitive for the rivalry to be good.
Yeah, but do you think Barcelona-Espanyol is a good rivalry?
No, but only because Barcelona has Real Madrid. If Barcelona fans treated Espanyol as their biggest rival, it would be awesome. But there isn't the same reciprocity.
But that's just like a battering,
but like West Ham and Millwall, like they don't play very often, but like you're still gonna ask people on both sides who their biggest rival is, and they're gonna tell you.
Yeah, but that was once built on like an equal playing field.
Totally. Things also change.
Yeah.
Or you have, you know, like teams that get dominated by a bigger club, like New York City and Cosmos.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You just went to a dark place, right? Did you see that?
His eyes just
I'm getting eaten alive.
His eyes just glazed over and he went blank, and I was like,
yeah, I'm not well.
You went to a real dark place real quick.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up, but let's ask our fans and our audience. Guys, we want to know what you think about rivalries, derbies, all that stuff. What do you think the foundation is for a good derby? Let us know, and make sure you like, and if you haven't, subscribe. See you guys.